Hello, and welcome to episode 52 of the Casual Tryhard Podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm James.
And you know what 52 means, right?
52 means we are officially 4 standard legal sets old.
Yes, and we have broke 0 formats and made them unplayable in that time. Unlike most of the standard legal formats released in the past 52 weeks.
Including the one that's upcoming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a spicy meatball.
It sure is.
And we're going to talk about that spicy meatball next week.
Next week, not this week.
So if you want to tweet at us why we're not talking about the spicy meatball now, you can tweet at us at Casual Tripod on Twitter.
Yep, you can find us at Casual Tryhard MTG on Facebook. You can send us an email at show@casualtryhardmtg.com. We'd like to remind you to check out or use our TCG player affiliate link at tcg.casualtryhardmtg.com. And we also have a YouTube channel if that's easier for you to listen to us.
Yeah, everything goes over there.
Yep.
Maybe again, Brian will hold up his promise and record him messing up a sealed pool or two. But it's hard, man.
It is hard.
It's hard.
It's tough to find the time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to build a content creator empire. If I accidentally do it, fine. But we'll see. So next week is our video episode.
Yeah, we do one of these every time a new set comes out, regardless if it's standard legal or not. We did one for Modern Horizons.
Yeah.
We do one every time a new set comes out. Our good friend Juan does the producing it for us. We record at Myrtle Beach Games here locally. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we'll go through our top 10 list. I'm trying to hold out until I see the whole set.
Are we going to make it a top 10 list?
Or whatever cards we're interested in list.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. We've played around with a couple different ways to structure it. I wasn't sure which one you felt like doing this time.
Give us some feedback, people.
Yeah, let us know.
Tell us what you want from us.
Tell us what you want. What you really, really want.
Oh, man. I was trying to think of the next part of that Spice Girls song. Zigga Zigga Za.
Something like that, yeah.
Which one of us is Sporty Spice? Which one's Scary Spice? Which one's Baby Spice? I don't know. This is rough.
There's only 2 of us. There's too many spices.
There are too many spices.
Also, after we record these video episodes, which, like I said, we have a ton of fun doing. I think they come out pretty good, too. Usually on Wednesday or Thursday, we will build a pre-release kit on video. That's posted up on Myrtle Beach Games' YouTube channel. So if you have any questions about building a sealed pool or just want to see what we open, make sure you check that out as well.
Yeah. And there are some crazy, crazy things to open.
There sure is.
Oh, my gosh.
I may perhaps have a new favorite card of all time.
You might.
I might, yeah.
You might. If any of you do alters, James needs himself. If you remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what was Krang? Was that his name?
Oh, yeah.
We need, James's head inside a
belly.
A belly.
Yeah.
Of some sort. So, depending on how you feel about your artistic skills, we might have to commission you.
Hook me up.
Yeah. So, per usual, there are 2 kind of pre-releases. There's the pre-release that's going to be on Arena.
Right.
Which is going to occur on the 16th of January.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the in-paper pre-release, which occurs on the 17th of January.
They started running them the Friday before the weekend now. Usually you couldn't run them until midnight Friday night.
Yeah, but now you can make your F&M a pre-release.
Yep, and I think most stores do at this point.
Yeah, just because no one wants to draft the last set, and no one wants to play old
terrible
set standard. And the standard has been
abysmal.
Atrocious.
Yeah.
So we get the set comes out a week before as a pre-release.
Yep.
One advantage of buying your boxes from your local game store, as opposed to buying them on Amazon or not from TCG Player, is that if you buy them at your local game store, they are able to give them to you when pre-releases start. Yeah,
so a whole week early. Make sure you have your cards for the new standard coming up.
And it lets you open things, and then you know what you need to maybe try to buy before.
Or sell. A lot of times the pre-sale prices for cards are through the roof.
Yes.
So if there's a card that you don't particularly think is good, but it's really expensive, it's a great time to unload it.
It's a good window to work in.
Yep.
So why do we play pre-release?
Because it's awesome. That's why.
Okay.
Like you said, you can pick up your boxes a week ahead of time. So that's a reason to go to pre-release. Also, one more thing about the boxes is if you do get them from your local game store, you get a buy a box promo also.
Mm-hmm. the buy box promos have been kind of alternating stone standard unplayable and standard format shaping.
Right.
And so you look at, what is it, Athreos?
Mm-hmm.
What is it, 4 black white for a 4/7 with the god text?
Yeah.
So you have to have 7. It's indestructible. Your devotion to white and black has to be 7. At the beginning of each upkeep, you get to put a coin counter on something.
Mm-hmm.
And if a creature with a coin counter dies, you return it to play at the beginning of the next end step.
Under your control.
Under your control. So it can be anyone's creature.
I think it has to be an opponent's creature. I don't think you can put one on your creature.
Okay. I don't have the card in front of me.
Yeah,
but,
I don't either. I thought that's how it read, though.
Yeah, so this seems more like Imperious Great Worm.
Right.
Unless,
not standard playable.
Yeah, unless Nexus of Fate / Kenrith, though I thought Kenrith was firmly in the not playable camp.
I know, you look at that card and you really don't think standard all-star.
Yeah, you don't think you think, 5-color identity commander.
Right.
But I guess when you don't pay mana for it and then all the abilities are live when it comes into play.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I guess you're like, oh, this is good now. You get your promo card, and that's the only way to get them other than opening them in collector boosters.
Yeah, I guess you can get them in collector boosters.
Yeah, it's like the only place to get the non-foil version is collector boosters.
Also, with your Athreos, you're going to get a full art land, the crazy Nyx-looking lands with the giant mana symbol. If I recall correctly, there was kind of a mix-up with those, though. So the one that is packaged with your Athreos is going to be non-foil.
And they're doing a second release?
Right? Well, it's supposed to be foil, so the game store should have a pack of foil basics, and when you get your buy a box promo, they should give you a foil basic also.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
2 basics.
Ooh. They're fancy.
They are fancy.
Fancy pants. So that's why you should go to the pre-release as far as product goes.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Another
reason to go to pre-release is a lot of these cards are really tricky to evaluate. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people on the internet running around trying to evaluate these cards right now, but until you get them in your hands and start playing with them, it's really hard to figure out all the moving pieces. So one thing that I like about pre-release is you get to get these cards in your hands sooner, even if you're not building, constructed decks with them. If you can get a feel for the mechanics and how they work, it'll help you in deck building going into week 1 or week 2 standard.
So we can do some old stuff here. So there was Sarkin from Cons.
Yeah.
That he turned into a dragon. He was 3 red. And turned into a dragon. It was oh, this card's great. It was $35 pre-order price. And then there was Sorin. It was 2 white black and gave all your creatures lifelink and made a flying 2/2 vampire. And it was he was much cheaper. And then when pre-release happened, they just switched their prices.
Sarkhan was unplayable and Sorin was fantastic.
Yeah, because it was oh, wait, no, this is great.
Yeah.
I think that Walking Ballista was kind of a hard card to evaluate, and then you played against it in a pre-release and you went oh
my god,
this is unbeatable.
Yeah. It's been a warp informants ever since.
Yeah. Might get banned through no fault of its own.
Yeah.
Hydroid Crisis, I didn't think Hydroid Crisis was good enough, but I wasn't thinking about Hydroid Crisis being cast for 10.
Right. Yeah, no, you were thinking about trying to cast it on curve normally.
Yeah, it's going to be a 6 mana 4/4 that drew you 2 cards, and it's that's not good enough. But when it's when you draw it and you got 6 or you got 10 lands in play, you're oh, this is amazing.
Oh yeah. And tap for double mana.
Doing that in pre-release, I was oh, this is really good. So it gives you a chance to figure out you were wrong about a card, or reevaluate a card that maybe you were lukewarm on, or that you thought was good, and then you were oh no, this doesn't work well in limited.
Right.
How is it going to work well in constructed?
Right. Also, some mechanics in general are kind of hard to evaluate without playing with them, like Escape.
I think Escape is going to be hard to evaluate.
Yeah,
it might even be harder in limited.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to get the cards in my hand though to see what makes it tick.
Yeah, so have we talked about Escape? We just mentioned it. We can at least say
sure, we can talk about it real quick.
So Escape is, I think it's only creatures? Are there spells that have escape? Yeah, there are a couple enchantments that have escape.
Well, also that red enchantment that we'll talk about next week gives all your spells in your graveyard escape.
Yes, I'm going to break that card. It's going to be great. So escape says that if a card with escape is in your graveyard, it has a mana cost, and then a number of cards you have to exile.
Right, and then you can cast the card.
Yeah, so if it's escape 3 red, it'll be escape, a mana cost like 3 red, and then exile 5 other cards from your graveyard.
Right.
So if you have that card plus 5 cards in your graveyard, you can pay the mana cost, exile those cards, and then cast that card.
Yep.
If it's a spell, it doesn't leave your graveyard. So as long as you have the mana and the cards in your graveyard, you can just keep casting that spell.
Yeah, it doesn't go to exile.
It doesn't exile. It just stays there, and you just can keep casting it.
Yep. So it's a little bit closer to like Retrace than Flashback?
Yes.
Okay.
Or Jumpstart if you're newer.
Yep.
Right? So it's kind of like Jumpstart, where it was like you had to like get rid of a card. This is get rid of things in your graveyard.
Okay.
That's something that, I think everyone's like, ooh, but then like actually having to play and like how often do you have 8 other cards in your graveyard to exile for something or
having to pick between 2 different escape cards because you're going to exile one of them.
Yeah. So just like how is that going to work?
Another thing that I really like about pre-release is that like nobody has played with the cards yet, so it's a great time for newer players to come in and meet some other people and get their hands on the cards as well, because everybody's kind of on the same playing field. Nobody's played with the cards yet. The cards you get to build your deck out of are random. Obviously, better players are going to play better, but it kind of closes the gap a little bit.
Yeah, and usually, at least our store as of late, they have been less high stakes.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you need help with deck building or something, people are more apt to help you. Like when it's a pack per win, like who cares?
Right. Well, I mean, that's a lot for a newer player, though.
Fair.
I mean, one of us is probably like, who cares? But
yeah. But I mean, like if, someone's going to be more apt to help you.
Right.
If if they play you round 1 and they help your deck be like reasonable.
Yeah.
And they're out of pack than being out their shot at like a box.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's a time to like kind of get help and, figure out some things and like learn what kinds of cards are good, because there are always cards in sets that aren't high impact and, learning like why those cards are not good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you shouldn't play this. You should play this. And you shouldn't play this because of X, Y, and Z. And this is why this is better. Like learning that is this is the time to do that.
Yep, especially if you're new. Grab a more experienced player and ask a whole bunch of questions. I love it when that happens to me.
Yeah. So how do the pre-releases come?
So you're going to get a box. The box should be big enough for like your deck, probably sleeved, and like whatever cards came in it. Inside the box, there's going to be 6 booster packs plus a promo pack. Promo is a foil stamped, like date stamped foil card. Can be any rare or mythic in the set, I think.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything special with Theros.
Yeah, I know they've changed it a couple times, but I'm pretty sure it's any rare or mythic from the set, foil date stamped. You're going to get 6 booster packs, and you're going to get a spin down die. And then what you're going to do is kind of take all that, you're going to crack all your packs open and lay them out in front of you and build a limited deck out of it.
Yeah, I think that most pre-releases are $25 to $27 maybe dollars.
I mean, that's going to vary per game store.
Yeah, but somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, I'd say somewhere between like $25 and $30.
If you think about how much a pack is, it's $4.
Yep.
If like your cost is $25, you're basically buying 6 packs and spending $1 on an extra rare in the tournament.
Yep. And, hopefully whatever price packs you get.
Yeah, so it is good value.
Yeah, some completely anecdotal stories here also. I've played in a whole bunch of pre-releases, like 5 or 6 every pre-release since I came back to the game. And there seemed to be a lot more like chase cards running around the room during a pre-release than during like a normal draft.
Yes.
So I don't know if they actually like seed these packs with Planeswalkers and Chase Mythics and stuff, but there definitely seem to be more in pre-release packs than there are like in normal booster packs.
It does a lot of times.
That's another kind of reason to push you to go to pre-releases if you're looking for, that super sweet Elspeth Planeswalker that's in this set. You have a better chance of pulling it out of a pre-release kit than you would 6 random boosters out of a box.
Yeah, it does feel like there are more.
Yeah. The same thing happened with like expeditions, right?
Yeah, it felt like there were like one or two got open like every pre-release.
Yeah. Whereas like during a normal draft, you might get one a month.
Yeah, and it was very different.
Yep. So yeah, that's another reason for you to go to pre-releases. Again, nobody's going to admit to this or whatever, but at least anecdotally, it seems that there's a lot more of them, coming out of the pre-release kits than normally. Pre-release events typically are paid out in packs of the new set. No, I'm not going to say every store is going to do this. I can only, talk about the stores that I've been to for pre-release. But usually they're paid out like pack per win. So, if you have like a 3 or 4 round tournament at the end of your tournament, you're going to go up and they'll figure out how many rounds you've won, and you'll get a booster pack for each of those. Sometimes, I know the store that I go to, sometimes they'll kind of pool those packs together and do like a normal Swiss tournament with top 8, and then they'll kind of weight the prize support heavier to the top. So, like if you won the whole thing, came in first, you'd get like a booster box instead of, 4 packs. Sometimes, like, it can be important to make sure that you ask before the tournament starts what the prize structure is going to be.
Yeah.
Because maybe you don't have, 6 hours to spend for a pre-release. Maybe you only got time for a 3-round tournament. That being said, you should probably call your local game store anyway and make sure that they're not requiring, like, pre-registration. Wizards has been doing some kind of funky stuff lately with product allotment, moving stores up and down, giving them more product, less product. If your store gets allotted less product, they might only be running 1 or 2 pre-releases instead of 4 or 5, and there's a chance that they would, fill up kind of quick. So
yeah, so you don't want to get left out in the cold.
Yep. On pre-release weekend, most stores are going to run events all weekend long, like you said, starting with FNM usually now.
Yeah.
All the way through Sunday. Again, make sure that if there's one in particular that you're trying to get to, make sure that they're not going to run out of product before then. Try and pre-register for it if they'll let you.
Definitely.
So what kind of things should we bring to pre-release with us?
So you should bring sleeves. Okay. So you can sleeve your deck, especially if you get like some super sweet card. You don't want to back hallway.
Yeah, the promo cards are always foil, and foils tend to not hold up quite as well as normal cards to like being shuffled and scraped around the table.
Stuff.
Yeah. So if you open a sweet promo card and you don't have any sleeves, you're kind of going to ruin your promo card.
Yeah. Ideally bring a playmat.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like something to keep track of life totals if you don't want to use the spin down.
Yep.
Bring your trade stuff.
Yep. This is a good time to, fill in holes in your collection with other people running around. Pre-releases can go by kind of quick, and there may be some downtime in between pre-releases or even in between games. So if there's, cards you're looking for Pioneer, for Standard, for EDH, whatever, bring some trade stuff with you. Maybe you can...
or just stuff from the new set where someone opens it. There are a lot of people that play pre-release and then don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Or play pre-release but are EDH players.
Right.
And so they don't want these standard rares that they open. They want some EDH thing or whatever. And this is a good time that you can maybe pick up some things. It might be at a slightly more elevated price, but you can get it for cardboard as opposed to
dollars.
Money.
Yeah. Again, like I said, there's also sometimes some free time in between pre-releases too. So if you're playing a 1:00 pre-release and the next pre-release is until 7, chances are you're going to have like 2 or 3 hours to spare in between them. If you have an EDH deck, there's usually people running around trying to get an EDH game in between pre-releases. So I'd bring, something else to do with you also.
This is also prime snack time.
It is prime snack time. It is true.
You come in for the 1:00 or whatever, and then the next one's at 7. Yep. And you get done at 5. You're like, oh, I have time to go get food.
Yep. It's burger time.
It is. So that is pre-release.
Yeah. You got anything else to add in for pre-release? I think we about covered it.
I think we covered just about everything.
Yep. If you have questions, ask. Make sure you ask.
Something to keep in mind is, again, depending on how spiky you are, you can go through the spoilers, and there's usually someone somewhere, usually on Channel Fireball or Star City. Used to be PV, so he might still be doing it for
Is it Star City now?
Star City now. Would break down all the combat tricks.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what all the combat tricks are in the format.
Yep.
Here's like what all the removal looks like. Here's all the instant speed removal that you have to worry about.
And how much mana it costs, when to expect it.
So you can, kind of prepare beforehand.
Right.
To know, like, they have 1 black mana up.
What could they cast?
Yeah, is there the, +2, +1, and lifelink.
Right, or death touch or whatever.
Combat trick, exactly.
Yep.
So you can do that beforehand as well, just to like kind of know what's going on before you go in. You're still going to forget, but
Yep.
sometimes you remember.
Yeah. Limited Resources, LSV's podcast. They also do a complete set review. It's very long, so be warned.
It's like usually 4 or 5 hours for the common and uncommon set review.
Yeah, but they go through every single card and tell you when it might be played, if it's played. They'll give every card a rating, talk you through their card evaluation process. I try to listen to it before every pre-release.
Yeah, I guess that it should be coming out early next week.
Yeah.
Because they just did the sunset show for Throne. And depending on when the spoiler is done.
Yeah. The spoiler should be done this weekend, right?
Yeah, so like they might try to record it this weekend and get it out Monday or Tuesday, so you have a chance to listen to it before pre-release.
Again, it's super long, so if you're not like ridiculously spiky, maybe it's not your thing, but I try to listen to it before pre-release.
Yeah. I usually try to listen to it as well. It's just a good way to make sure that you know what's going on.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job of walking you through like tricky rules interactions also. Yeah,
they usually will start that podcast, either the one before or the one that has the actual set review, with here are the mechanics and how they work. Here's the relevant rule stuff for them.
Yep.
And then they will also point out small interactions that could make the card better than you realize.
Yep.
As they're doing the set review.
Yep.
But like, don't forget you can do
whatever.
This. I think we've talked about like sacking a attacking creature
right after damage. Yep.
When you've killed their other stuff, and you can then get their big thing with the second attacking creature.
Yep. And like if that's in the set, they'll remind you of that as they're going through. So
yeah,
it's worth a listen if you got an extra 5 hours or whatever.
It's a lot of drives to and from work.
It sure is.
So we were thinking of perhaps some Magic New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
And I mean, it's New Year's, so everyone's doing it.
It is New Year's. Everyone's doing it.
I came up with this because I was like, well, what should I do in Magic? And I think the thing I came up with was I would like to have a deck for every format.
Okay.
Because like right now,
going to build you a vintage deck?
Okay, I don't have vintage cards. I just need like $3,000 and I can like put together Dredge and I'd be fine.
There you go.
But just having like I haven't played Modern in forever.
Right.
And it's partly because like I have some like Stoneforge Mystic Urza deck together, and then Humans, which I haven't played Humans in a million
is Humans
years.
even playable anymore?
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of blue and green mana in it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't checked in with Modern in so long.
Yeah, and then so just like having having a few like tier 1-ish Pioneer decks.
Yeah.
Just so like I have options
something
to play.
Yeah.
And getting a standard deck together.
Yep. You gonna build an EDH deck?
It's not a real Magic format. Boom. EDH players. Boom.
Hey man, it sees a lot more play than Vintage does.
It does. I mean, I don't know, but then I could have 4 Bazaar Baghdad's.
Sure.
I mean, I know what deck I would build. I'll have to proxy 4 cards. And then, like, a few years ago, I went through all of, like, Khan's block stuff.
Yeah.
and got rid of all the, like, 3-mana 2/3s.
Yeah, just all the garbage.
Yeah, just all the commons that didn't do anything, and then I, like, kept the commons and uncommons that had, like, interesting effects or, like, reasonable set mechanic.
Yeah.
And I did that for up through Kaladesh, but I haven't got rid of any of the Kaladesh cards. They're just, like...
all broken.
They're just all sitting off in a corner, like...
Yeah.
And I still have them. So just going through all of my bulkish stuff and getting rid of all my, like, garbage commons and uncommons that, like, aren't ever going to see play. The 1 in a red deal 3.
Right.
You know, Chandra's Outrage or whatever Chandra's Triumph. Yeah. Like, no, that card's not going to see play anywhere. I can go away.
Yeah.
Just clearing out some stuff.
Yeah. So when you proposed this, like, the obvious thing is, like, make the PT, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not really something that I want to commit to on the show because there's a whole bunch of luck involved there.
There's a whole bunch of luck involved there. And, like, I don't know, make the PTs not, like, a resolution.
Right, yeah. It's
like,
more of a goal.
Yeah, you can be like, I'm going to try real hard. And it's like, well, you flooded out.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter how
Too
hard you
bad.
tried.
So I wasn't really sure what my resolution was going to be. So kind of what I was thinking was I was going to do a resolution for the show.
Okay.
And I would like to make a resolution to finally get some merch.
Oh.
So that's what I'm going to work on.
Going to work on getting some merch?
Yep,
I should probably get around to making
going.
that website I was going to make before school started, and school's like a week away now.
Yeah.
Dole.
Also, last year, I was kind of doing the opposite of you. Instead of pulling your bulk out, I was trying to consolidate mine because I had it, like the way I used to organize my collection was I'd have like a place set of commons and uncommons in a fat pack box.
Okay.
And then everything else in a long box. So now I'm trying to get rid of that fat pack box. So just everything's together. And I think right now I've made it all the way back to BFZ.
Okay.
So now I need to do like pre-BFZ, consolidate.
Yeah, I need to.
So that should be a resolution too, I guess.
Yeah, I just I'm starting to run out of shelf space in my bookcase. I'm like, well, I could order another bookcase, or I could get rid of like, you know,
garbage.
4-mana 4/3s, no text. I could probably get rid of some of those and
probably
maybe make a little more space.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Because for the most part, like, they're never gonna do anything unless they have, like, again, some unique ability
or like relevant creature type or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if we go back to like an unset and there's cards that care about having drooling monsters in the artwork or wearing hats.
If this creature only has a paragraph of flavor text, it gets +2/+2.
Right.
Okay, so before we move on to Arena, you had mentioned that you have had not really been paying attention to Modern and not really had a desire to play Modern.
Yeah, like since Pioneer came out, I think a lot of the focus has been shifted there.
Yeah.
And like there's no Modern events. Like where are you going to pay attention to a format where
there aren't a ton of events?
Yeah, that just doesn't get played right now.
So there was a SCG Team Modern event. So not the classic Team Unified. You had 3 honest-to-God Modern decks.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Otherwise, like, maybe I'd have watched it. Turns out I probably didn't have to watch it.
No.
But when you hear Team Modern, I guess my brain just went to...
the old Unified thing. And I think next week there's a Modern GP.
Okay.
We can do a brief check-in on Modern.
Sure.
And Modern looks a lot like Standard did 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago.
Miserable?
Yes.
Yeah.
So probably the best deck in the format is a Urza Oko deck.
Yeah.
Where I think this is a deck popularized by like Team Lotus Box, where you have Gilded Goose because it makes an artifact, and Oko because it makes artifacts and everything a 3/3.
Right.
And then you have Urza to take advantage of all those artifacts.
And let you dig in your deck.
And let you dig in your deck and do all this stuff. So at this event, the 2 most played archetypes were Urza decks.
Right. Sultai and Simic.
Yes. And then the next 2 decks were Primeval Titan decks.
Sultai and Simic.
Which I do believe featured a 3-mana planeswalker named Oko. Yes. So I think the top, like, what is this, 20 decks out of, I think, the 60 or so that made day 2.
Right.
Were Oko decks.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some more further down.
Oh, yeah, there are. Then there's Monogreen Tron. Then we get to Teamer Urza and Bant Snowblade.
Right.
Which are both just Oko decks.
Right.
One has Urza, one has Stoneforge Mystic, but they both have Oko.
Right.
And then we get into the bits and pieces.
Yeah. 2s and 3s.
Yeah, that don't have... But there's still a couple Oko decks down in there as well.
Yeah.
So the format has become all Oko all the time in everything.
Sounds like fun.
I don't know if you saw a couple weeks ago where, as a joke, I do believe, Allie Warfield said, I fixed Modern Burn, put 4 Okos in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then someone immediately put 4 Okos in Modern Burn and 5-0 to League.
Yep.
With Okos in Burn.
What a world we live in.
What a world we live in. So there's currently a lot of calls for Modern to have really a large number of bans.
Yeah. It's kind of a bad look. Because, like, even before Oko was here, like, Modern was kind of broken anyway. They just kind of shifted focus away from it. Like, Urza's kind of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, Hogak was a problem.
Right.
And when Hogak went away, Urza
was a problem.
A problem, which, like, I bought Urza's. We were at the Hogak PTQ.
Right.
Or, I guess, MCQ at that point. And, like, before I left, I bought Urza's. Because I was like, well, when Hogak gets banned, this is the next best deck in the format.
Right.
And it has been...
the next best deck in the format.
Effectively, like, the only deck in the format since Hogak's gone away. Like, there's been some churn other places, and, like, the core of the deck has changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's changed a couple times.
Right, it's gone away from, like, Thopter Sword into...
Right. Well, it's kind of going away from Stoneforge in general.
Yeah, but, like, so that's all just leaving now, and you're just getting this Oko Urza shell.
Yep.
And it seems like the whole format is just that. I know that podcast listener Jesse went and top 8'd in IQ.
Yeah, congrats, buddy.
And he said that he was just like, it's a whole lot of Oko. Like, the cards just everywhere. And, you know, the format, like, we didn't know if they could slow the format down.
Yep.
To make a lot of the cards good, and they have. The format is slower, but that has just led to it being super homogenous. So
and, I mean, a slower format is more ripe for Oko to take over, too.
Yeah, because you're, like, playing things that are downgraded when they're made 3/3s.
Right.
As opposed to upgraded. Like, if you make my Memnite a 3/3, that's a win for me.
Yeah.
But if you make my Primetime a 3/3...
that's not a win.
That's not a win. No. I better have won that turn.
Yeah. Because it's not getting another one.
It's not getting another one. You're not going to get any more lands.
Yep.
So that is a... I mean, it turns your Amulet of Vigor into a 3/3. Now you can't do the combo kill.
Right.
So yeah, it's in a rough spot.
Yeah. So what do we do if they don't ban anything? Do we just jump on the Urza Oko train, or is there any weakness to exploit?
I don't know. I mean, basically the format's been Urza Oko for 3 months.
Yeah, but like 3 months of a format that people aren't really playing might only be a couple weeks of a format that people are playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I still think there have been events.
Have there, though?
I mean, at the SCG, what is it, the Players Championship?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it was a bunch of Urza decks and then Devoted Devastation trying to beat a bunch of Oko decks. But it was still, like, probably half the field was Oko decks. And then this event, like, I mean, the Star City Grinder people, I mean, they're on the grind.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? They're always trying to find a way. And, like, Star City still has, like, I'm on the Star City UK page right now, and it's SCG Knoxville, January 11th and 12th, Modern.
Okay.
Right? So, and there's a Modern GP next weekend as well. So there's a chance that maybe if that top 8 is just awful, then
maybe they do something. When's the next BNR?
Whenever they want, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So speaking of BNRs, today they announced that there were no Pioneer bans, and that this was the last Monday of
regularly scheduled or weekly
weekly Pioneer bans,
Yeah.
and now it's going to be rolled into the regular BNR announcement.
Right.
Which can happen whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there might be a chance, again, if we get one of those top 8s where it's, 8 decks have Oko in them.
Yeah.
And, you're in a weird spot when your primetime deck is playing a 3-mana Planeswalker that doesn't ramp them.
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
So that is just something to be aware of, that Modern seems broken.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe it's just best to stay in the Pioneer pool until they decide to they figure out what they're going to do.
Pioneer seems pretty sweet. There's a lot of different things you can do right now.
Yeah, and it's weird because the number of people that are fiercely passionate about Modern used to be really high.
Right.
And there are now a lot of again, grinder level people that are on social media saying I haven't enjoyed this format in months.
Yeah.
This has been really bad. They need to ban Oko and Urza.
Yeah.
And Mox Opal.
Let's make Jund good again.
You want them to ban the Tron lands too?
Sure.
It's good. But I don't know what they have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, those 3 cards might be a good start to make the format functional, because Mox Opal is no longer in any deck doing anything even borderline fair.
Yeah, I mean, Affinity used to be the broken deck, right?
Yeah, Affinity used to be oh man, you have to play 3 pieces of sideboard.
You got to play 4 Shatterstorm in your sideboard, or you just lose.
Or I used to play Stony Silences. In Burn, I play Stony Silences and Destructive Revelry.
Yeah.
It's I'm never going to lose to Affinity ever.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you saw an Affinity list?
That deck's unplayable.
Yeah, it's just stone unplayable.
Right? You're going to attack and block?
Yeah.
Why?
And that was the reason for keeping Opal around, was they didn't want to hurt Affinity. Well, nobody's playing it, so.
Nobody's playing it at all. And I don't know, there's not enough stuff that you can ban to make Affinity good. I mean, not that it had a good Jund matchup, right? But now Jund has Renin 6. How many X1s out of Affinity do you just pick off?
Yeah, all of them.
No investment.
Yeah.
You're 2 mana, kill your thing. Next turn, kill your thing, and I spent no mana.
Yeah. Oh, you paid 2 life for that Vault Scourge? It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Kill it. And you just run through. There's nothing you can do. Renin 6, if that deck didn't have enough problems, Renin 6 in the format just makes it so you can't play a pile of X1s.
Yeah.
And then Oko and Urza just kind of go over the top of it super fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what they would have to ban, but it seems like the format is broken and no one is enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Well, nobody really has a reason to enjoy it either because they have Pioneer.
This is true. I think that a lot of people might just be jumping ship.
Yep.
Which, you can tinfoil hat it and be this is all part of Wizards' master plan.
Move everybody to Arena.
Move everyone to Arena and then eventually give us Pioneer.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to, close Moto. Moto will just close itself.
Yep. Makes sense.
But that seems a little too tinfoil hatty.
I mean, maybe not. We'll revisit this once we get Pioneer on Arena.
Yeah, so we might have to revisit this for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know personally, I haven't played Modern in months.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I played Modern. Did I play Double Up at Richmond? I might have played a Modern Double Up at Richmond.
Maybe.
But that would have been the last time I played Modern.
Yeah, so we have Cameron, who we're going to do a team tournament in 3 weeks, a month.
Yeah, February 2nd, we're going to go to Richmond for a SCG team event.
Yeah. And
team trios.
Sadly, Legacy is no longer a supported format on the SCG tour. Yeah, so Merritt Lage has to stay in the box.
Yeah, sorry, Mom.
Yeah. So we think we have Cameron on Modern playing Infect.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a reasonable choice right now.
I think it is too. And then perhaps me on Pioneer playing question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple ideas.
Yeah, a couple sweet ideas.
Yep. And then I'm always in the standard seat, so I'll be in the standard seat.
Holding it down.
With possibly playing my new favorite card.
Possibly. We have to figure out some way for you to play that card.
Yeah.
I know we're teasing it. It is the Jundiest card that has ever Junded.
Absolutely.
and we'll tell you about it. If we do a top 10 list, it's the number one card on Carson's list.
100%.
100%. I don't have to. I don't know any of the
unless they come out with like, they won't. They can't because they made Pelucranos.
Oh, it's the green-black one.
Yep.
Oh, crap. Like, I was hoping for, like, a green-black card.
No, they made Pelucranos, so there will not be one.
Yeah, so could there be a red-green one that, like... Oh, no, I guess we already have a red-green mythic.
Yep.
So
Clothis.
Does that just leave us, like, blue-white?
Now we have a black-blue mythic.
Yeah.
Blue-white? Nobody wants a blue-white Titan. Those are the worst Titans.
Yeah, it returns something, and you can't target it unless you pay 2. Like, that seems awful.
That does seem awful. It'll probably be broken.
And then we have the black-white mythic is the buy box promo.
Yeah, that doesn't really count for, like, set breakdowns, though.
It doesn't, but it also, like, if you think about, like, the M20...
Oh, that's true. They did finish the cycle there. They
finished off the cycle in the buy box slot.
Yeah.
So, I don't know...
Yeah, I don't know what that leaves us.
Yeah.
There's 2 more Titans.
There's 2 more?
Yeah, there's 4 Titans.
Okay.
I don't know if they all get a card in this set or not, but like in the lore or whatever, there's 4 Titans.
Gotcha.
So, we'll see. Because there's, was it the Binding of the Titans?
Yeah,
there's the saga where it shows Clothis like holding chains or whatever, and she's got 4 Titans.
Yes.
So there are 4 of them.
We've seen 2.
Yep, we've seen 2. I'm a big fan of both of them.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they're both kind of stupid.
Yeah. A+ good time.
A+ good time. See, we're teasing this stuff for you guys.
You gotta wait till next week.
Don't look at Mythic Spoiler. We'll give you the information.
So I had a thought.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Is there a way where we could shield ourselves from spoilers?
Would you want to do that?
Well, it might be kind of cool to do like a set release episode where we don't know what the cards are yet.
Just a first, like a first reaction.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the reactions would be like, "Why has this been printed?" Ah!
Yeah. It would also be really hard to not look at spoilers.
Yes, it would be very, very hard to not look at spoilers.
I'd have to like not turn my phone on for a month.
Yeah, you would have to like not turn on your phone. You would have to like block the Facebook chat.
Yeah.
Like all the Facebook chats, it would just all have to like go away.
And not talk to anybody.
Exactly. I think that would be too hard.
Probably.
Like getting the like cool effect of like, hey, this is the first time I've ever seen this card would be interesting, but I think it's just too hard to do now.
Yeah, probably.
It's not like 1994 or 1996 or something, right?
Where there was no internet.
Yeah.
We were using news groups.
If that, like I wasn't using news groups. I wasn't that cool back in the day. Pretty
sure I was using news groups.
I wasn't like, hey man, what's that Sandra Bullock movie? Like Hackers or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like I'm going to be one of those people. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Man, that's an old movie.
It is. I'm an old person.
I know. I just got invited to your birthday party.
Yeah. My 40th birthday party.
Yeah.
That's rough. The wife is like, we should do something. I was like, it's fine. I'm a simple man. She's like, no, we have to do something. She was looking at people to cater said party.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I only turned 40 once.
That's true. You only turned 40 once.
Yeah, so I'm very old.
I'm not far behind you, buddy.
Yeah, you're a few years.
A couple.
So, back to Arena.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of questions.
I have very few answers.
All right.
So I guess, first of all, what have you been doing on Arena since kind of standard is
A whole lot of mostly not playing. Like, I really haven't been playing a whole lot. When I do, I've been doing the standard challenges to try and build up some coins for when Theros drops. But I really haven't been doing much.
So I've had this interesting arc.
Okay.
I was first like pretty excited about the standard shakeup.
Yeah.
And I played a couple different...
Yeah, we talked about it last week a little bit,
Yeah, played
right?
a couple different things. I like settled on... I like got a Grixis list.
Mm-hmm.
I like hard Grixis control.
Mm-hmm.
Drago Grixis control to a
Yeah.
point where I liked it. And then like I kept losing to or having problems with Improbable Alliance. There was a lot of the blue-red draw 2 card.
Yep.
and Grixis can't remove an enchantment. So I was like, all right, let me try Esper. So I was playing Esper, and the format has moved, at least when I was playing, to a lot of like of the blue-black like mill deck.
Okay.
Which is just misery, especially like when you're in Esper and like you don't have the like out of like stick a Chandra uptick, like you can't ever deal with this.
Right.
When they can counter your Kayas and your other things, you're like, well, this is significantly worse than it had been. And I was like, why wasn't I playing Teferi? It's like, oh yeah, because Teferi is banned. Because like, I should have just been playing Teferi. I was like, why did I put that card in? It's like, oh no, it's banned.
Yeah, it's banned.
So like that just got super frustrating, and then I went to like a nice happy place of Dominaria drafts.
Throwback drafts.
And I was like, this is all right.
Yeah.
I had one train wreck where like I just got flooded twice and screwed once, but otherwise they've all gone pretty well, and I would say I'm close to break even, excluding the disaster.
Well, I mean, you've got like your break even point's got to be pretty high because you have most of Dominaria, right? Like everything you draft just turns into gems.
No, I don't have a ton of Dominaria.
Oh, okay.
Dominaria was like I started getting everything around guilds. I have most of.
Yeah, like M19 guilds.
Yeah, but RNA forward, I have pretty much complete sets of everything.
Yeah.
When I started doing the play sealed and then open like a bunch of packs. Mm-hmm. So Dominaria, I hadn't quite
mastered the art yet.
And like that set wasn't in the open beta, right? The first set that the open beta, like the set that was out, that was the current set when the open beta happened.
Yeah. Was
guilds. So like I didn't play any. So like any Dominaria I have is from random Dominaria drafts.
Oh, okay.
Or like getting like a pack as a reward or something. So I don't have a ton of that.
All right.
It's been pretty fun. Like I'm probably gonna go do a draft and try to get my 4 wins doing a draft or 2 tonight.
Draft me a Slimy Boy.
I've not got to draft a Slimy Boy. I have.
Oh man.
The bots do some interesting things. I did end up with the 2 red-green 3/4 that has haste and adds mana. I ended up with 3 of those in a pool.
Wow.
Like in a draft, I ended up with. I could have had 3 of the 5 black 4/4 flyer that has 3 in a red deal.
Oh yeah.
Deal 2 and put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Yeah.
I could have had 3 of those. I passed 2 to take like removal spells. And then in the third pack, I just got passed another one, and I was like, I guess I'll take this one. I'm in black. I was like, well, do I want like a cast down or do I want this 7-drop? I should probably take the cast down. Do I want this eviscerate or do I want this 7-drop? I should probably take the eviscerate. I was like, maybe it'll wheel because I got a couple late.
Man, that set had great removal in it.
It did.
Yeah.
I think that's why part of the reason that this set is so good.
Yeah.
Is you just had good removal. It wasn't like you just got like clowned by something. And if you got clowned by something, it's because you
didn't draft the removal
or you used it too early.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like people like playing Gaia's Blessing and just cycling, like, putting 3 counter spells back in their deck and stuff. You're just like, oh.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, the set had, like, if you look at it, the set has no fixing lands.
Yeah.
But, like, playing 3 and 4 colors is just what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because you had Skittering Surveyor and a bunch of other ways to fix your mana that weren't
your lands.
Yeah. So it is a fun format. That's basically all I've been doing is just, like, the last, 3 or 4 days is just, like, oh, this is reasonable. And I think the standard shakeup is almost gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's only like tomorrow. So it'll be gone by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get something on Thursday to like bridge Thursday to
like that's kind of what I was asking is didn't last time we got a new set, wasn't there like a pre-standard where they gave us like, 12 new cards to go build decks with or whatever?
I think that was specifically because it was rotation. And I think they were trying to soften the blow of rotation. But the last couple sets, they had some event that allowed you to just grind.
That's true.
Grind experience to try to like get your match labor up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. We didn't have, because that was the pre-standard event, right?
Yeah, but I think there was one before that.
Yeah.
For the previous time we had a mastery set.
I think there was too.
Right, because this is this just our second mastery pass? It is, right? Or is it our...
maybe it is just a second.
Yeah, so there was that event, but they said they were always going to give us an event to, like, grind experience.
Yeah.
And the standard shakeup only gave you, like, 3 levels.
Yeah, I mean, it also only gave out 3 packs.
Yeah, it was like 1,000, 1,000, and 1,000, and you're done. And the other one was, like, you could just keep playing. It was like, you had to go 2-0, and you got, like, 250 experience, so you could just keep playing it over and over and over again. Yeah, so in this last week, hopefully they give you something that if you're, like, kind of close to your break-even point or the point where you would want to spend money on the Mastery Pass, that you I
ended up buying my Mastery Pass over the weekend.
What level are you?
82, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. What level are you, like 140?
124.
124, I was close.
Yeah. So after 110, you just get one... crispy, uncommon.
Woo!
So I got 24 comments. It's like, oh, why? Like, give me a rare.
So how many vaults do you have unlocked?
11.
You have 11 saved up?
I have 11 saved up. I have 1,100 and something %.
Man,
of my vault progress. Yeah, I have 72 rare wild cards right now.
Holy moly!
And not counting the ones that are in the vault. So I have closer to 100. And I have 8 mythics plus the 11. So I have 19. So
you can just, like, buy the set when it comes out.
I could. And I also have almost 160,000 gold.
Yeah.
See, if you get 4 wins every day, it's basically a pack.
Yeah.
You get 4 wins plus your daily quest. It's a pack.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten 4 wins pretty much every single day. I can't think of a day I missed.
There was one day you missed, and you said you missed it.
I know I missed one when we were in DC.
Yeah.
But that might be the only one I missed. But, like, this standard season...
You hit them all?
I've pretty much hit them all. So, like, if you do that, you know, what is it? Their standard season's 3 months-ish long.
Yeah, like 14 weeks.
So that's, what... a bunch of days. It's like 100.
That is like a bunch of days.
It's like 98 days if it's 14 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you just only get 4 wins plus your daily, that gets you 100 packs to open.
All right.
Yeah. And you know, when I was having fun,
you're right.
Like getting to like 10 wins like on a weekend, because 10's where they stop giving you mastery points.
Oh, okay.
You get 25 points a win up until
10 wins.
10 wins, and they don't give you they don't give you anything for the last 5.
Oh, okay.
So if you get up to 10 wins, you like max out your mastery points. Value. I'm leaving nothing on the table, Wizards. Nothing at all.
No money from this guy.
Oh no, I've put money in. Like that is, they have got their fair share out of me.
Yeah, I cut it a lot closer than you do.
Yeah.
I try to not put money in. I think I've only put like $150 in total.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more than that. I might be like $250.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though. But
give me Pioneer though. See what happens if you give me Pioneer.
Yeah, really. You hear that, Wizards? See, I'm like I got 80 rare wild cards. I can start making Pioneer decks. It's fine. It's fine. We'll get there. We'll get there.
So what about a streamer event? Don't they usually do a streamer event before pre-release?
Yeah, they usually the 2 days before Arena pre-release, like Tuesday, Wednesday. They do an event where they give streamers early access, and I think they're only supposed to do like sealed and like constructed.
Yeah.
I know at one point the streamers were like, I'm going to do drafts. And they were also doing drafts when they weren't supposed to. But on here it was like, when's the streamer event? So I was like, I will just Google this really quickly.
Doesn't exist.
Tons of information about the Theros, the Throne of Eldraine streamer event.
Yeah, nothing for Theros.
About the Theros one.
Well, hopefully they'll surprise us, and when we turn Twitch on next Tuesday, there'll be a streamer event. Yeah,
because it was nice to see what people were doing. Now, I know that PV has said that the streamer event, there was kind of this like unwritten rule of like...
Nobody plays Oko?
Or nobody plays Interaction.
Oh, okay. Just let you do your sweet stuff.
Just do your sweet thing. Like no one's playing like efficient removal. They're just like, what is the big dumb thing you can do?
Yeah.
Because I think there were like, at different points there was a lot of like, super go big decks and all this cool stuff. And then like, the real format happened and it was like Field of the Dead.
Yeah.
They're not like indicative of what the format's going to be, but you do get to see the new cards doing cool new stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like pre-release where you kind of get a feel for what the mechanics are, how they play.
Yeah.
Maybe get an idea for a deck.
Yeah, and then be like, okay, I need to put like 6 removal spells in this deck.
Yep.
Okay. It's a good shell, but I need 6 removal spells.
Yeah. Theros launches on Arena the 16th.
Yeah, and unlike,
so Thursday?
Yeah, so Thursday, the day before the pre-release.
Yep.
And the thing that is different from just like your in-store pre-releases, on the 16th, you can start playing Standard.
Right. You just buy your cards.
You just buy your cards, you buy all your packs, and then you go nuts.
Yep.
I know that I think that they did a Twitch Rivals event.
Okay.
Or a Fandom Legends event.
I think they did.
The day
on pre-release
launched.
Weekend, yeah.
Yeah, so there might be that Thursday at like 2 o'clock, there might actually be like a Standard tournament.
Maybe.
That people are playing for however much you get, multiple thousands of dollars. Yeah. So you could maybe get a look at the initial Standard from that. So that's something to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm going to try to do the thing where I try to spend, $50 worth of gems on sealeds before I open any packs.
Yeah.
And then that way you have, like, you fill out your collection and then you start opening your packs and then you have the duplicate protection to start filling out your...
Yeah.
Because actually if you're opening, if you saved a bunch of gold and you're opening 10 packs at a time, you can start to see the shift in, like, what the cards look like.
Right.
Right? You're like, oh, there's a whole bunch of different cards. And then by the time you're opening your last 20 packs, it's like...
Yeah. Oh, these are all the same.
It's like 6 different... It went from 10 different cards to 6 different cards. Okay, there are 3 different cards in this. Like, and you just fill everything out.
Yeah. I think last time... So that's what you do, is you do a bunch of sealeds, and then you open your packs.
Then I open all my packs. I don't open any of the prize packs from the sealeds. Yeah. I just hold on to them.
Yeah. What I did last time was I went through... I didn't do any of my rares or mythics, but I went through and just burned, like, all of my common and uncommons. And that way, when I was opening up packs, everything was vault progress. Yeah.
The only thing is there's not a good way to get... The only way you can get common wild cards is through vault progress. Like, they don't...
No, you can get common wild cards in packs.
You do?
Yeah.
I thought you only got uncommon ones. Maybe I just don't pay attention. So I guess that's fine, because like I try to hold on to the commons just because I want to make sure I have, like...
If you need a random common.
If I need a random common, I just have it. I don't have to, like, buy an Ixalan pack. And hope. As we talked about last week, that is not the way to get your cards.
That is not the way to get your cards.
But yeah, if you have a bunch of wild cards to burn, it can impact your... It'll make you progress in the vault a little bit faster and get you,
I mean, it progressed me in the vault a lot faster.
Okay.
I think I ended up with, like, 4 vaults this... Like, for the Throne of Eldraine season, where normally, like, I'd get 1.
Okay.
So it just, like, turbocharged me.
Okay. So that's something, like, if you're going to do sealed, if you do that first.
I mean, part of that might have been the Mastery Pass, too, but...
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, if you're going to do your seals or whatever, if you've decided you're going to burn your...
Commons and uncommons.
Common wild cards, just do that before you start doing anything.
Yeah.
That way.
I was also... Like, I was in the Arena Alpha.
Yes.
And they reset my account twice, but I was playing like before you started playing, so I have a whole bunch of Ixalan and stuff.
Gotcha.
So I'm not that worried about it.
I don't think I got it. I didn't get into Arena, I think, right when it opened.
Yeah.
I think I waited a little bit.
Well, I don't think you got in until like right before we started the show, right?
I didn't get in I wasn't in the closed beta at all.
Yeah.
When the open beta happened, I don't know when I started. I don't know if it was like, I don't think it was like, hey, it's the open beta.
It was probably like 4 standard legal sets ago.
You're probably right. I definitely played it before we started because I played infinite, like, blue-red Niv Drakes.
Okay.
leading up to that. I guess it was a PPTQ in the Cold Card arcade. So I was playing then.
Okay.
And I was opening packs before they gave duplicate protection.
Okay.
So I had opened a bunch of packs, got all these duplicates that just counted towards the vault.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give you duplicate protection now." And I had like burnt a bunch of packs. So like I would probably have guilds finished if there had been duplicate protection.
Yeah.
But I know I opened.
Yeah, but when did guilds come out? Guilds was
the fall.
The fall set.
The fall set. So we started at Allegiance was when we did this, started this about a year ago.
Okay.
So I'd played before that, but I don't know if they were like, hey, it's Monday, open beta, and then Tuesday I got in.
Right.
Or if it was Monday, it's open beta, and then like a month later.
Yeah.
So I did burn sometime.
All right.
But I have played a lot. So with that, I know this is not as meaty of an episode as normal.
You just wait for next week.
Yeah, next week.
We left all the meat on the bone for next week.
Yeah. So if you have anything you want us to talk about during the set review,
if there's a specific card or specific interaction or whatever, let us know.
Yes. If you're looking at some of these cards and going, what? We've done the same thing. We've also tried to quickly figure out how to break them. Someone in our shop group chat was like, get your citrus suppliers now before they're $5.
Guess what?
They're $4.
They're $4.
I don't know how many I have, but I know I have 4 foils.
I think I've got 2 play sets.
Yes.
I don't have any foils, though.
Someone has foiled that dredge. So that card puts cards in the graveyard. We have some.
Yep.
But yeah, Satyr Wayfinder might be the new best card in Pioneer.
I love Satyr Wayfinder.
It might be the new best card in Pioneer.
I have 8 foils.
There you go. I only have 4 foils.
Satyr Wayfinder and me go way back.
Way back.
Way back.
So, yeah, if there's anything you're interested in, let us know. If you want us to play a similar game that we just played of cards that might go up in value, if some of these cards are better than we think or as good as we think.
Yep.
Let us know if you have a specific card you're interested in.
Sure. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, so you can tweet your ideas at us at Casual Tripod on Twitter.
Yep, on Facebook, it'll be Casual Tryhard MTG. You could also email us at show@casualtryhardmtg.com. Like I said, get ready for our video next week in conjunction with our good friend Juan and Myrtle Beach Games. There'll also be a pre-release kit build video that we, break down kind of how we build a pool, how to build a mana base, that kind of stuff. And you can watch us open some sweet, sweet cards. And that should be it, right?
It should be it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll catch you at F&M.